Ready to go!
Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome back to another YouTube video. We are going to hit this topic one more time before it is dead and dusted, and the reason I'm going to do it again is because I'm doing it from the high attachment. A number of people have commented about the low attachment versus the high attachment, and they've asked me personally, Ryan, can you please do a high attachment lift so we can compare and get your opinion on the differences. So today, I've got the pulley nice and high. That is above my hand height, and you'll see I've got in sequence I have the crane scale. So we're gonna have no doubts today on what the numbers are, no doubts today on whether I am able to lift more from this position or the high position. Now I'm gonna try to do the same thing, same rules. I'm gonna try to keep my elbow planted. I'm gonna try not to creep underneath and cheat by reducing the angle and using a shoulder lift. I'm gonna try a whole heap of things, and I'll talk about a couple of notes as well. A lot of people ask me, what did you think of the Gennady 75 kilos? We'll talk about that. There is a little difference to his lift compared to the lift from a stationary position. Anyway, I'm gonna get underway. I'll show you the movement as part of my warm-up, and then we'll see how high I can go. All right, so we just got 20 kilos on there now. I'm going to make sure that the peak force measure is on. I've set the strap so that I can get about that 90-degree angle whilst also still having my elbow on the pad. The thing about the high pulley is it forces people to drop down to their tricep. So expect me to be down here when I'm actually going my hardest. Up here, not going to be as strong. Even though this is probably something that translates more to arm wrestling in a specific sense, we're just here to work out which method, high pulley, low pulley, is better. But you can see, guys, there's a peak force of 20.7 kilos on that so far. I have a 20 kilo plate loaded, so gives you an idea. You're gonna see the numbers of every lift as we do them. All right, guys, let's get some weight on there. All right, guys, we all know that my PR for the low pulley was 60 kilos. That was when Lachlan Adair was here. He somehow managed to get me really fired up for a 60. So 60 is the number, the best I've ever done. 57.5 is also a number that I thought was my 1 rep max, but I managed to pull it at 60. But anyway, let's keep going. We got 40 on there now. So let's see what the crane scale says after I lift this. 40.45, look at that, pretty accurate. All right, we've jumped up to 50 kilos now. See how she feels. Okay, 51.8 on the peak force. All right, we're at 55 kilos now. 55 kilos loaded. 56.45 peak force. Alright, guys, this is 60 kilos. This is an attempt at equaling my PR from the low pulley. No idea what's going to happen. Let's see what happens. $59.9. All right, we're at 62.5 kilos loaded now. So this is, if I'm able to lift this, this is a new PR. So never having done more than 60, already have equaled my PR today from what was the low at the high. So interesting stuff. $63.5. There we go. There's a new record. All right, we've got 65 loaded on there now. This probably is going to be my max. I'm probably not going to get it off the ground, but we'll be able to see what my peak force was. Last lift was 63.5. Let's see if I get that again or a slightly bit more. Anyway, 65 kilos loaded. I had. You see I'm getting tired. 61.3 peak force there, not as much peak as the last lift. I might give it 3-4 minutes, come back, have another go at this one. Alright guys, I'm back. I've given myself a few minutes. We've still got the 65 kilos loaded. Make sure the crane scale's turned on, and the peak force is on again. There we go. Alright, 65 kilos. Oh, no, misgroove. I misgrooved and I peaked at 47 on my misgroove, just for information's sake. I was just getting ready to pull the trigger and I misgrooved. Alright, 65, one attempt. $59.25 and seeing stars. So it looks like one peak force today of 63.5, but a new record nonetheless. So whilst I get my my head back and Eliza comes to say hi. Hi Eliza, how are you? You a good girl? You want some music on? Alright, we'll be back in a second. Alright guys, now that I've failed on picking up the 65, I want to talk about the Gennady lift and the difference between the Gennady lift and the lift of what I was just trying to do then. Okay, so the physics are, it's harder to get a weight starting to move than it is to pick it up with two hands and then control it. So Gennady's 75 kilo lift that he does is slightly easier, only by a margin, but it is slightly easier than picking it up from a dead stop. And that's just simply because you're fighting the inertia of that still weight. So to demonstrate that, I've still got the 65 kilos. I'm going to attempt to pick it up like Gennady did. And so what I'll do there, to make it like Gennady's, I'll shorten this strap right up. Oh, if I can not hurt my shoulder doing it. My shoulder's still dodgy, if anyone's wondering. Alright, so I'm going to shorten this strap right up, and so then I will pick, I need to make it a little bit bigger for my hand. I'll pick the weight up with two hands, and then see if I can hold it. And you'll see that I'll probably, I'm not sure if I will, because it is 65 kilos, it's above my limit, it's a considerable weight. But I think you'll see I control it better than just a flat out failure. I'll probably look closer to getting a lift. Anyway, so Gennady went like this. Okay. Couldn't do it, clearly couldn't do it. It was way too much. You can see, so I peak force there at 75 kilos trying to accelerate through that when picking it up with two hands, but the 65 kilos on there, too much for my one arm. But anyway, the point being that lift slightly different. So if we're comparing apples to apples, I'd like to see Gennady do it from a dead stop, kind of like Levan did, where Levan got the 72.5, Lachlan got a 75, Marcio got a 75, yeah. And anyway, always remember as well guys, the old drag. If there's any of this going on, it's very different lift, very different lift. Dragging is no good. It changes things. So to sit there like this and go, that looks pretty badass, 68 kilos, but I can't do it if I keep my elbow planted. So actually, why the hell not? Why not go on with this and show people how different elbow planted is versus dragging. So there you go, you just saw me do 68 kilos relatively easy when dragging. Let's keep going. Alright guys, so now we have 75 kilos on there, loaded, which you'll see shortly on the crane scale. This is the number that we saw Rob Vigent do, and we saw him do it with a drag. Whoop, not connected properly. 1 second. Alright, back again. So, yeah, we saw Rob Vigent do 75 and we saw him do it with a drag. So, a lot of people were impressed. It looks like he's maintaining bicep, but it's just maintaining bicep and dragging like this. Very big difference. Anyway, let's see how I go with 75 kilos dragging. Okay, I don't know how impressive to do that. Oh, guys, my finger didn't work. Let me do it again so you can see that it is 75 kilos or more on there. $77.15. Alright. Alright guys, so a couple of points illustrated there. You'll see how I look relatively comfortable. There I could do a lot more weight than what is on there at the moment using that drag method. Even though my bicep angle stays the same and nothing opens, it's clearly not the same lift as my failure on 63, or my max lift on 63 when I keep my elbow planted. So this is why we're very particular, guys, on counting lifts or not counting lifts, because there's such a significant variation just by dragging your elbow. The Gennady one where we picked up in 2 hands, even though I wasn't able to demonstrate it because the weight was too heavy, it was beyond my max capability, so I failed to demonstrate how significant that difference is, but it's only a subtle difference. But albeit there is a difference between picking it up with 2 hands and then trying to resist versus picking it up off the ground. When you pick it up with 2 hands and then try to resist, the friction of the pulley actually assists you, takes a bit of the weight off, where when the weight is at a dead start and you're trying to get it moving, the friction of the pulley is against you, plus the inertia of the weight and the physics of getting a weight moving being more difficult than keeping a weight moving. Anyway guys, that is it. Hope you enjoyed that one. What do you think, Eliza? Was that good? Yeah, we got the thumbs up from Eliza, the most important thumbs up of the day. Thank you, Eliza. Guys, hit share for me, hit like for me. Make sure you're subscribing. I think like 50% of you that watch these videos are not yet subscribed. So hit the subscribe button for me, it'd mean the world. Lots more good stuff to come. We're chasing Rob Vigent. We're chasing the world titles. I think I'm gonna get it. I think I'm coming for it. I think I'm gonna get it. I'm feeling amazing. I'm at my strongest by a mile. I'm ready. Just put someone across the table for me. I'm dead set ready. All right, guys, take care. See you next time.
Yes, that's a man!